Everyone's been asking since they've made this Pokedex app from one of my previous videos, how do I share it? How do I get it deployed? What if I told you it's not that hard? What if I told you all you had to do is sign up for a couple free accounts, click some buttons, and voila, AI will help get the rest done. And that is simply all we have to do. So I'm going to walk you through signing up for these free accounts on GitHub and Netlify. And after that, it's just a couple of really simple steps that you have to follow. And AI will basically take care of those steps for you using some terminology that you just have to understand and know. So there'll be some glossary terms that I'll go over while we're going through this video, just to help you use the right vocabulary to help the AI to know what to do. So first, let's get started with creating those accounts. I'm going to come in here to github.com. I'm going to sign up for github.com right now. So I'm going to just put in an email address, me plus Brian builds at bcbrian.com, Brian builds.com. Nope, just Brian builds. And we'll continue. It wants me to solve a visual puzzle. Use the arrows to rotate the obstacles so they're facing the direction. There we go. Submit. You can manually continue if not redirected. Okay, I need to confirm my email address. 981722142. Boom. All right. So after creating an account, we sign in and here we are. We are now in here and I have nothing. It has a create repository and some other things, but we're not going to do anything with that at the moment. Next, we're going to create a Netlify account. And I'm going to just click in here to log in with GitHub. And because I'm already logged in, it's going to just use that flow to log me in and create a new account. So it wants to know me real quick, so we'll fill this out. We're going to do personal. What kind of site do you want to build first? We'll just say something else. Okay, we'll say web app. What describes your role? Other, cool. What is the name of your team? Brian builds, and we'll continue to deploy. And it's wanting to deploy my first project, and so I'm going to select GitHub because that's where my account is, and we'll have to authorize it again. We're now authorized. We'll install the connections and it'll say no repositories found. So after we've made our Netlify account, what we're going to do is come back to the GitHub dashboard and we're going to create our first repository. This is just a place where code is being stored so it can be referenced. So we'll create it and we got to give it a name. So we'll say simple underscore Pokedex. And the description, we'll just say simple Pokedex. We're going to make it public. You could make it private, but the moment you start making it private, Netlify will be like, you can't publish private things without paying for it. So we're trying to keep this free. So we'll do public. We're going to do, we're not going to care about a README. We're not going to care about a get ignore. We're not going to care about any licensing. We're just going to create the repository. After we've created this repo in GitHub, I'm going to open up Cursor. And I'm going to clone from repo. I'm going to select clone from GitHub, and it's going to walk me through connecting my Cursor account with my GitHub account. So it copied a value for me just a moment ago, and I'm going to paste in that value, and I'm going to give it access to all the things, and it's all set. So I can close that, come back to Cursor, and now I have access to my simple Pokedex. I'm going to put that in my projects folder. I'm going to open it here. And then I'm going to tell it to build a very simple website for us to deploy before we make the Pokedex. So first thing I'm going to do is say that I want it to make an HTML file. That's some glossary terms that you'll want to learn. So HTML file, I want it to center the words hello world vertically and horizontally. And then we'll move on to the next step from there. But let's just get the page created. I like to create an index HTML file that says hello world that's centered vertically and horizontally, and I'd like to keep it simple. So it's going to think about that and build it. I'm going to accept the changes. Now I'd like to commit these changes and push them up to the GitHub repo. So now I'm telling it to run a commit so that we have a commit, and then I'm going to tell it to push it up to the GitHub repo. So there's some vocabulary words you'll want to have to use to help it do this work. Commit and push. Perfect. It seems to have worked. To validate this, I'm going to come back to GitHub, and I'm going to refresh this page, and our index page is up here. I can click on it and see it. So next, we're going to go back to Netlify, and I'm going to just refresh this page where we were at. I'm going to click GitHub. It is authorized, and it finds our simple Pokedex, and I'm going to deploy it to Netlify. And it'll show you the deploy logs on it deploying. And if you want, you can play a game while you wait. These are always fun. We got a bee and an octopus. We got a goat and a fish. There's the octopus. We got a gerbil, and it's all done. Didn't even get to finish playing the game. And if it worked correctly, we should be able to see our website now. So we're going to open the production deploy right here. It'll open up a new tab, and it says Hello World. Now, you'll notice this URL is kind of unique. So I'm going to show you real quick on how to make that your own custom URL. So you can go to site configuration over here, and we can change the site name, and we can say BB. Actually, let's just see if we can do simple hyphen Pokedex. It's already taken. Cool. I'm going to do BBZ hyphen in front of that. And there we go. We have it's our own custom URL that we can send to our friends. If you want an even more custom URL, you'll have to pay for that, but keeping it free and easy. Now, let's go through this process one more time just to see how quickly we can make a change and get it out. So I'm going to come over here and describe to it to make a simple Pokedex with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And I'm going to tell it to keep it simple. And we'll see what it can do with that information. I'd like you to create now in this repo a simple Pokedex using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Do not make it complicated with build tools. We want to keep it real simple. So I threw in there, we don't want to use build tools. We want to keep it simple. That way it doesn't have a crazy pipeline to go through to get to the final solution. So we're going to let this build out our code solution for us. And when it's done, we will just deploy it and see what happens. Who knows? We might have a winner. All right. Let's accept all. And look at that. It even seems to have committed and pushed it up for us already. So that's cool. If we come back here and refresh, oh, the site's not found. Oh, because the URL changed. Aha. Look at that. And just like that, we're good. That was super quick. Wow. Can we search for like 210? Oh, snap. We can search for 210. Can we search for Pokemon that have CHA in their name? No, it's going to look for specific, and it's only pulling the first couple. Anywho, it's simple. That's what we asked for. What more could we want? Now, I could continue to iterate on this and push up these changes and deploy them. So let's do an iteration on it and see if we can figure out what that looks like. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to just say, one more quick iteration I'd like to do on this is if I can search for a Pokemon's partial name and we find partial matches and return them. Not sure we can do that with the API as it exists, but it'd be cool if we could. When it's done, don't commit or push it up right away because I want to test how quickly it goes out. All right, so I went through a couple of iterations asking it to make some improvements because it wasn't quite where I wanted it to be. What we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to run it locally real quick. I can right click on this and I can reveal in Finder or Explorer, depending on which system I'm in. And then I can just double click on this guy and it will open it in Chrome and we can see what it looks like. So it's fetching the Pokemon database. That looks real nice. And now I can search for any Pokemon, even like partial search. I can search for Char, and we're getting all the ones that have CHAR in their name. So that's pretty cool. Now the real question is, now that I've made these changes locally, how quickly can we get it out? So we're gonna just go for it and see how long it takes for it to get deployed and get out there. We can find our code here. All right. This looks good. Let's commit it and ship it. So ship it is another term for pushing it up. I think it'll understand what it means. So it's adding the files, adding a commit message that's helpful, and it has pushed it up. So now it's trying to explain it to us. If we refresh here on Netlify and go to deploys, we can see that it's starting up a deploy and that it's building. And we might come play the game a little bit here. Plants, yeah, okay. Squid dino. Oh, there's 2 squids. Got it. And the deploy is done. Up here, it tells us that it's done. So I'm going to end the game. It's a great way to pass time. But now if we come here and we refresh the URL one, we have the new one all ready to go. And that was just minutes. So it's really cool to be able to see your changes and then they get deployed. And then you can share this with your friends super easy in a text message or whatever. Just grab this URL, send it to them, and they can enjoy it too. That was pretty fast. If you think yours are faster, go ahead and drop those times in the comments. Share your creations with us through the comments, and everyone just have a fun time. Again, just remember is GitHub for the account, Netlify, sign in with GitHub, and then we're signing into Cursor with GitHub to connect all those, and then we're just clicking some buttons to get it all connected up and working. Hope you had fun. Hope you have fun sharing your creations with everyone else. Hoping to see some awesome creations in the future from everybody. Buckle up, enjoy the ride. We'll see you next time.